G'day, I'm Captain Chris. I'm here with AeroTime to basically speak to some of the interesting and unique people in aviation, and there's no one more unique and interesting than Maya Ghazal here. And I could give you her bio, but I think you're the best person to introduce yourself. So please tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Chris. Hello, AeroTime. I'm really excited for this interview. So to introduce myself, my name is Maya Ghazal. I'm 23 years old and I was born and raised in Damascus, Syria. In 2015, my family moved to the UK on a family reunification visa. Okay. So we came on a plane. I was 16 at the time. I was eager to start my life again. And today, I have graduated university with aviation engineering with pilot studies degree from Brunel University. I've got a private pilot's license, yes, and I got my PPL in 2020 and achieved my goal of becoming the first ever female Syrian refugee pilot.
Fantastic.
I am a Goodwill Ambassador for UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, and currently holding a position as a graduate research engineer at a research and innovation company in the Midlands.
Fantastic. You're a fantastic ambassador for aviation, and that's why you're here, and that's why AeroTime wants to speak to you about this. So what gave you that first inkling about becoming a pilot? What was it that you said, I want to be a pilot, I want to fly airplanes?
Well, if I'm honest, my first introduction into becoming a pilot was actually through the aviation industry. I was more fascinated by the aviation industry. Around 2017, when I was when I was thinking about going to university and deciding what is it that I wanted to do in the future, I was staying at a hotel by Heathrow Airport with my mum, and I could see the runway, I could see planes taking off a landing, and I was absolutely fascinated by that, those big machines and the whole air traffic control behind it and how it was so precise. Every 5 minutes there was a touchdown. And I found that really cool. I don't have anyone in the family who's connected to the aviation industry. It was not even something that I ever thought about.
But it was there in front of you.
But it was there in front of me. And that's when I was just wow, this is amazing. I want to control those. And it was kind of I wanted to be working at an airport environment. Mm-hmm. I wanted to work at air traffic control. And that's what made me apply to study aviation engineering. After my first year doing it, that's when I was why not control planes actually? Why not fly them? And that's when I got the flying bug.
And where did you do your first lesson?
So I did my first lesson at Overcame in Booker's Air Park.
And how did you do that? You just call them up and say, I want to do an introductory flight, or did somebody mention it to you?
So because it was part of my university degree,
okay, yes.
So they told us all about it, and which I'm very grateful for that, because otherwise I would not have known. I would have just been lost and yes, not known what to do. So I had my first lesson, I think in 2018, and I absolutely hated it.
Oh, really?
It was horrible.
Really? What didn't you like?
I did not so I was still learning English back then, because
okay,
I could not speak English when I came to this mm-hmm, country. So I was still acclimating. I was still trying to understand English.
Yes. And
sit on a plane, have my headphones, and have ATC speak at me.
And the instructor. And
exactly, yes. 24/7. And
difficult.
Yeah, exactly. And I felt very overwhelmed by mm-hmm, this whole concept. Mm-hmm. Of not understanding what either of them were saying yes, to me, and yet I had to fly a plane. So that's why I really hated my first lesson. I just did not like it.
But you overcome that.
But I overcome that. I stuck to it. It was a couple of lessons later, and I was wow, yes, this is what I'm talking about.
Fantastic.
I really love learning how to land a plane, how
yes,
to control a plane, understand the instruments. This is what I fell in love with.
You got the bug and said, I can do this.
That's when I got the bug.
Which is a fantastic message to other young women and girls. What can you say to them? Because there's so many people think, I could never be a pilot. Because you were one of them.
I was.
And you overcame it. And like you said, you didn't like your first lesson. A lot of people give up, and that's such a shame.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You just persevered with it and thought, I can do this. I want to do it.
Exactly. And so my start into the aviation industry, the whole sector, when I was thinking about applying to do aviation engineering, mm-hmm, I had people telling me that I should not do that. Why? Because I would not even get a job. They were if you are just sensible, if you just think about it, you are from Syria and you are a woman, so do you think you'd ever get a job in a high security thing? And that's what really annoyed me. And that's
Yeah,
when I was like,
absolutely.
you know what? I'm gonna prove you wrong. I am gonna do this.
That's a
and I'm
fantastic
gonna
motivation.
succeed. So that's like even before I applied for university. And so yeah, so my flying journey was just all about, it was a bug that I absolutely loved flying, but it was also about, if that was said to me, then can you imagine what was said to other people?
Yes, absolutely.
And, if other people do not have the stubbornness or perseverance.
Both were good words, stubbornness.
Yeah,
because remember, parents of young girls think, oh, you can't be a pilot. But the pilots are all men.
Yeah.
And that's just their parents.
Exactly. So that's why I figured that not only am I doing this for myself, but I'm doing this for the wider community of people, like for women who are like a minority in the aviation industry, for people who think, that they don't belong, for people who think, oh, we're not good enough, for young people who want to dream, but then they're told that dreaming is too big for them. And that's what I thought, like, this is not just about me at this point. This is about all of these people who I've just said.
And that's why you're a great ambassador for aviation, because you are doing something about it. You're speaking to AeroTime and you're showing the girls and women that are watching this, anybody can be a pilot. Anybody can be a pilot.
And it's a rocky road. It's going to have its ups and downs.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have good moments, you're going to have bad moments. I had COVID break through my training.
Yes.
I was about to be ready for my skills test when COVID happened, and so I had to postpone it, and then I had to go back and do lots of training again, like all hours that I did not need to have, but then obviously because of the break, then I had to redo again.
You need it for continuity to get up to speed with the checks and so on.
Which I was not like super sad about. Like, I wanted it to be finished as soon as possible so I can have my license, but like I tried again, and I got more lessons and I improved myself. So when I got my skills test, I was actually ready to pass. Which I did from the first time.
That's such an accomplishment, isn't it?
It is.
It's so cool to say,
felt really
I'm a pilot.
Good. It felt
I've got a pilot's
really
license.
Good. To do those 2.5 hours of everything that I learned, it was a really good feeling. So here is like another, I would not call it like a difficulty in my aviation journey, but like it was definitely like a setback. So my first solo, I remember we were going to talk about solos, and my first solo, it was after I changed airfields. So it was a new airfield, and it was like after 3 hours at this airfield, and my instructor pushed me. He was just like, you know what, you can do it. And I bounced while landing.
Why?
It was 3 bounces.
Oh.
And it was to the point where like the first bounce happened, and I was like, no, I don't know what to do now. And I got so embarrassed. My instructor was filming it, and he filmed.
He was terrified.
Yeah, he was like, "What is she doing?" And I felt, I was like, you know what? I'm done. My aviation journey is done right here. I don't want to continue. I'm ready to die out of embarrassment. I didn't know what happened. But I went the next day.
And I bet the next landing was perfect.
It was really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was really good. But my first my first solo was 3 bounces. It was definitely memorable.
Memorable for the wrong reason.
Yes, but
but it's still memorable. It's a good reason.
It is. Like stuff. It's mistakes that we learn from.
Yeah.
And in the aviation industry, it's it's good to make those mistakes where you're learning.
Yeah.
Not obviously when you have passengers.
Yeah.
And, mistakes are bound to happen. You've got to just learn from them. Be calm.
If you don't have mistakes, you don't get better.
Exactly.
It's like any skill. It's like any sport. It's anything you're learning.
Yeah.
You've got to make those mistakes to get better and better. So you make less and less mistakes.
Exactly.
The more you practice, the better you get. It's really simple. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes you better.
Yes. And, for us in the aviation industry, it's very important because, we've got the lives of people in our hands, and we're up in the air. So
safety first.
Exactly. Anticipating hazards and understanding, worst case scenario. And, I was a rookie. I am still a rookie. I only just have my private pilot's license. But yeah.
So talking about that private pilot's license, so you got the private pilot's license now. Are you going to the commercial route and then ATPL later?
Well, the goal that I'm aiming for is to become a commercial pilot.
To fly the big jets.
fly the big boys
Yeah.
and have flying as a job.
Yes.
I feel like that is a great sentiment to me because I love flying and I would love to have it as a job. But as well as, I'd be able to to give back for my communities by teaching others how
Yes.
to become pilots if they want, speak out of real life experience, and as well, break those stereotypes of me being looked at as someone who was once, looked turned away and underestimated. I was rejected from schools when I came to the UK because I was told I was not good enough just for that sole reason, without even testing me.
Yes.
So I feel like to me it's about break through all these barriers and showing that everything is possible as long as you believe in yourself and the real passion that you have.
You just said a really important thing that I say to a lot of young people, believing in yourself. It's a line that lots of people use, and lots of people my age say, oh, you just got to believe in yourself, you've got to believe in yourself. But until you actually really believe in yourself, which you do, you're not going to go forward. You've got to really believe in yourself. And it's such a throwaway line.
Yeah.
But it's the most important thing.
It is a hard journey to get to.
You've got to show that perseverance. And like you said, that determination of showing other people that you can do it is a good way. Revenge is the best thing to get forward. Say, I can show you.
It is.
I can do it.
It is. I read a quote recently that said, don't die with your gift still inside of you.
Wow.
And I feel like that is something that I want everyone to just listen to and just to actually take in, because we know ourselves, we know what we're good at, we know what we can actually bring to this world. So don't let it go to waste.
Don't let it go to waste. Do something.
What is it that you have? What is it that, what's the gift that is inside you that is going to amaze all of the people around you? Because people want to see, we are in this time where people are eager to learn and to have more knowledge and to exchange. And so, it's the perfect time. You can do it easily. You can do it on Instagram. You can stand up and speak to people. There are so many ways to share your passion. And I feel for aviation especially, it's a very good passion to have.
It's a great
Just because I'm biased towards aviation,
so
I feel like we both are.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's also good for the wider community to know that whoever you are, you can be part of aviation.
And you're a fantastic ambassador for that. As an ambassador for aviation, what would you like to say to young women and young men about starting a career in aviation?
So what I would like to say, to share with young people who are interested in a career in aviation is aviation is for all. Whoever you are, whatever background you come from, if you're interested and have your passion in aviation, go for it, thrive for it. You can be a pilot, you can work in airlines, you can work at airports, you can design airports, you can, do the social media for it. It's got this whole area of thing. Aviation is a world on its own. And,
Absolutely.
It is very important because it's the future. This is, we are in this phase now where it connects people. And, if you have passion for that, then there is a place for you.
It's a great community.
Yes.
It's a wonderful community.
Exactly.
We're the same people, but we're different.
Yeah.
But we are the same people.
We are the same people, we have the same passion for things, but we are unique in our own skill set that we bring into the industry. And that's my message for the younger generation. If aviation is for you, if you have something that you're really passionate about and you have it in you, then you've got to go for it, and reach out to people. There are so many support networks that are around aviation. There are so many summer internships and things that you can do in your local aerodrome or airport and whatever you have in your own town. There is always a way to find...
It hasn't changed since 1980s when I used to hang around the flying club like we are here. I used to go there and I used to make teas and coffees for the flying instructors. I used to clean the airplanes. I used to do the fuel checks. I used to do all sorts of things. Those jobs are still available today.
Exactly.
Go down to your local airport and get involved and find a career in aviation. Fantastic, Maya. And it's all about believing in yourself. So on behalf, there's one last thing. On behalf of AeroTime, I am to award you with an AeroTime Champions Award, and here it is.
What?
For you.
Oh,
you are an AeroTime champion.
That's
for your
great.
For your work in aviation and supporting aviation and being a great ambassador for aviation.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Well, see, young boys and girls, you get awarded things when you stand up for what you believe in. I never thought this would ever happen. I've started my journey in aviation, thought that I was just going to be a small fish in a big sea. But, using your voice and speaking up for what matters will always be rewarded. You know, you'll always be rewarded by yourself, and you know, clearly I got an award as well for this.
Fantastic,
Got a
Maya.
real champion. Thank you so much, Chris.
You're very welcome.
It's
Thank you.
really lovely.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you.